Welcome to Adarsh Vidyalaya Matriculation online class. Standard 8, Subject Biology, Unit 7, Plant Kingdom. Students, in the previous class, we have studied about the different types of classification, and we studied about Bentham and Hooker's classification, binomial nomenclature, etc. In this session, we are going to study about the two group of organisms comes under Thallophyta, that is algae and fungi. First, let's discuss about algae. These algae are autotrophs. They are plant-like organisms, mostly living in freshwater and marine water. Few algae lives on wet soil. These algae are autotrophs as it produces its own food by the process of photosynthesis. It possesses chlorophyll. Then some of the algae are very minute and float on the surfaces of water. These algae are called as phytoplanktons. Some algae are symbionts. Symbionts means the two organisms are living together. There is mutual association between two organisms. Here both organisms are getting benefited. No one is harmed. So some of the algae live with fungi, that is called as lichen. In few species of algae, they are growing on another plant. They are called as epiphytes. There are various forms of algae. Some algae are unicellular and some algae are multicellular. This is Chlamydomonas. It is unicellular motile algae. Motile means movement. It possesses flagellum. With the help of this flagellum, it can move from one place to another place, or it can swim in the water. Then this is Chlorella. It is also unicellular non-motile algae. It cannot move. Then this is Spirogyra. This is multicellular algae. Its plant body seems to be filament-like structure. And this is Cladophora. This is also branched filament-like multicellular algae. Some algae are giant kelp like these Macrocystis. Some algae are living in colonies. Example, volvox. These volvox or leaves a colonial form. This is algae. It is Chara. It resembles a large plant body, and it also possesses well-developed sex organs. When we see the reproduction of algae, it follows three different types of reproduction. Some algae like Spirogyra follows vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Fragmentation means the plant body breaks into number of bits, and each bit gives rise to the entire algae. Then this Chlamydomonas is an algae. It follows asexual mode of reproduction by the formation of spores. Then this Spirogyra and Chara, these are follows sexual mode of reproduction by the fusion of male and female gametes. Now let's study the classification of algae based on pigments. Algae are classified into four types based on the presence of pigments, based on the color of the pigments. They are Cyanophysi, Chlorophysi, Phaeophysi, Rhodophysi. Let's study one by one. That is Chlorophysi. That is also called as blue-green algae. Example, Oscillatoria. The type of pigment present in this algae is picocyanin, and the reserve food material is cyanophysian starch. Then the chlorophysi, it is a green algae. Example, Chlamydomonas. It's the pigment present in Chlamydomonas is chlorophyll, green color pigment. That is why it is green color. The reserve food material is starch. Then this is Phaeophysi. The example, Laminaria. The pigment present in Laminaria is fucosanthin, and the reserve food materials are laminarian starch and mannitol. Then the red algae, Rhodophysi. Example, Polysiphonia. It is a red color. The pigment present in its body is phycoerythrin, and the reserve food material it prepares is Floridian starch. Now let's study the economic importance of algae. Many algae used in human lives in different ways. First, food. Some algae are consumed as food in different people in Japan, England, and also in India. For example, the algae spirulina, chlorella, etc. are used as food. Then some other algae also used as food for domestic animals. Example, Laminaria, Ascophyllum. These are the algae used as fodder for domestic animals. Then agriculture. In the agricultural field, some algae plays a vital role. The nostoc and anabina, these are the algae are involved in the process of fixing atmospheric nitrogen fixation. They are fixing atmospheric free nitrogen in the form of nitrogen compounds in the soil and enhances the fertility of the soil. This agar-agar is extracted from some red algae, namely Gelidium, Gracilaria, etc. This agar-agar is a jelly-like substance which is used as culture medium in the laboratories for the culture of microorganisms. Some algae is the rich source of iodine. For example, Laminaria, it is a brown algae. It is used for the preparation of iodine. Algae in space travel. The algae Chlorella pyrenoidosa is used in the space travel to get rid of CO2 and the decomposition of human waste. Next, some algae such as chlorella and spirulina are rich source of protein and that is used as nutritious food. This chlorella is obtained from single cell algae and spirulina is a green algae. These two algae are used to produce protein. Next is fungi. This fungi also belongs to Thallophyta as the plant body is not differentiated in the stem, roots and leaves. When we study the structure of these fungus, the many filament-like structures are there, that is called as hyphae. These hyphae are arranged in the form of a network that is called as mycelium. There are two types of mycelium. If the mycelium contains cross wall, that is called as septate mycelium. If there is no cross wall, that is called as aseptate mycelium. When aseptate mycelium contains many nuclei, it is called as cenocytic mycelium. Most of the fungi are multicellular and eukaryotic organization. Some species of fungi like yeast is unicellular and eukaryotic cell. This cell wall of fungi is made up of a chemical substance called chitin. The reserve food materials of fungi are glycogen and oil. But in the case of algae, the reserve food material is starch because the algae contains chlorophyll. But in the fungi, it do not possess chlorophyll pigments, so they are not producing starch. Their reserve food materials are glycogen and oil. These are heterotrophs. There are three different types of heterotrophs: parasites, saprophytes and symbionts. First, parasites. The parasites are absorbing food from the living organisms. For absorbing food from the other organism, they possess special roots called pastoral root. Example, the Cercospora personata. This Cercospora personata fungus affects the groundnut plants and cause a disease called Tika disease. Saprophytes. Saprophytes are living on dead and decomposing organic matters and get food from them. Example, rhizospers. Then symbionts. Some species of fungi living with algae, and here both are mutually benefited. They are called as lichen. Some fungi live symbiotically with the higher plants' roots. They are called as mycorrhizae. Classification of fungi. This fungi is classified into two main groups. There is Myxomycetes, Eumycetes. This Eumycetes is again divides into four classes. They are Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. Economic importance of fungi. That fungi, certain types of fungi are highly beneficial to human beings. First, antibiotics. We have learned about antibiotics in the previous lesson. These antibiotics are substances obtained from the living organism and they are toxic to other organisms. Example, penicillin, neomycin, gentamicin, erythromycin. These are certain antibiotics obtained from fungi. They are used to cure variable diseases. This penicillin antibiotic, it is the first antibiotic. It is prepared by Alexander Fleming. It is called as Queen of Medicine. Then some fungi are used as food. Mushroom contains rich proteins and minerals. The edible mushroom is Agaricus. It is also called as button mushroom. Then certain fungi are the rich source of vitamins. For example, Ashbia cuspi and Erythrothecium ashbi. These are the fungus or the rich source of vitamin B2 riboflavin. Then the yeast. It is an unicellular fungus. This yeast involved in the fermentation process of sugar molasses and prepare alcohol. It secretes the enzymes invertase and zymase and producing the alcohol. Then this fungi is placed as third kingdom in Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification because that absence of chlorophyll and starch. Now let's study about the harmful effects of fungi. Though some fungi are beneficial, some of the fungus are harmful to human beings and plants. First, let's study diseases caused by fungi in plants. The wilt of disease of cotton is caused by the fungus Fusarium oxysporum. The Tika disease of groundnut is caused by Cercospora personata fungus. The red rot of sugarcane disease is caused by Collatotrichum fulcatum. The blast disease of paddy is caused by the fungus Pyricularia oryzae. The white rust of radish is caused by the fungus Albigo candida. The same way, certain fungus causing diseases to human. For example, the ringworm disease. The symptom of ringworm disease is the circular rashes on the skin. It is caused by the Trichophyton species of fungus. Like that, many of you are suffering by dandruff. This dandruff is also caused by a fungus, that is Microsporum furfur. Then athlete's foot disease. It is caused by the fungus Tinea pedis. So these are the examples of fungal disease in human. There is ringworm disease is caused by Trichophyton species. Dandruff is caused by Microsporum furfur. Athlete's foot is caused by Tinea pedis. Now let's study the differences between algae and fungi. Algae are autotrophs as they are preparing its own food material by the process of photosynthesis. They are possessing chlorophyll. But the fungi do not contain chlorophyll, so they are heterotrophs. They lead us, they are symbionts, parasites and saprophytes. Then the algae contains pigments. Based on the pigments, we have classified algae into 4 groups. That is cyanophysi, chlorophysi, phaeophysi, rhodophysi. But fungi do not have pigments. The reserve food material of algae is starch. The reserve food material of fungi is glycogen and oil. Some algae are prokaryotic in nature. For example, cyanobacteria, Nostoc, Anabina. Here the fungi, all the fungi are eukaryotic nature. Example, Agaricus. So, students, in this class we have studied about algae and fungi. These algae are autotrophs. They are mostly lives in water. Then some algae are lived in wet soil. Then the reproduction, algae follows fragmentation methods, spore formation, and some algae follow sexual reproduction. Then we have studied the classification of algae based on pigments. There is cyanophysi is a blue-green algae, chlorophysi green algae, phaeophysi brown algae, rhodophysi red algae. We studied economic importance of algae. Some algae used as food, some are used in agriculture by the nitrogen fixing process. That Gelidium gracilaria used as agar-agar. Then laminaria are rich source of iodine. Chlorella pinoidosa is used in space travel by decomposition of human waste. Then Chlorella spirulina are contains rich amount of protein, so they are used as food. Then we have studied about fungi. Then fungi also belongs to Thallophyta. There are 3 different types of heterotrophs. They are parasites. So parasites are living on other organisms and obtaining food from them. Saprophytes are lives on dead and decomposing organic matter. Symbionts are live as mutual association with other organisms. Then we have studied the economic importance of fungi. Some fungi are used in the manufacturing of antibiotics, some are used as food, some are rich source of vitamins, and yeast are in the process of alcohol preparation. First question, write any 2 economic importance of fungi. Second question, write any 3 economic importance of algae. Third question, write the differences between algae and fungi. Thank you.